Wow, this is insane. So, my first YouTube live. Hello to my 0 viewers, but of course, that's the case. This is the long-term move. In 2 years, we'll be all laughing at the fact that no one was watching this. And hopefully by then, you as a small digital agency will realize how useful this content is for you. But if by any chance, there is one viewer, feel free to say hi. It's probably one of my friends. So today's topic will be how can an agency that designs apps or markets those apps or develops apps, actually provides services to its clients, how can they spin off their own product? Because that's what I have done, and we have decided to do that more than 2 years ago. And in like during that time, I wanted to be real quiet, not to give you any advice with something that I have no experience with. But nowadays, that I would say we're successful. I'm super happy. There's 7 topics that I would like to share everything with you. Hopefully, your agency can do the same thing, and you will finally have your own product. So the 7 topics would be the idea. Which idea should you choose? Which markets should you avoid? The second thing is educating yourself. Your set of skills will be different. Running a software as a service, for example, requires different skills than running a digital agency. The third topic is marketing. So we'll have to see, who's your ideal customer. The fourth one is sales. So you will see that your customers with a software as a service actually has way lower lifetime value. So you will not be able to pay all those extra marketing costs. One thing is, like I said, like yourself slash mindset slash the way to lead things. Probably if you have a successful digital agency, you will have to change yourself. Your budgets will be 10 times lower. The next topic is separating these two. I believe you really have to separate them. And the last one is finance. So the note is expect losses for 2 years. So let's go through each one of those. The first one is idea, but in the meantime, give me 1 sec. I'll be right back. This is going live. It's different. I'm back. So the idea, I would like the way this happened with us is I said, we have built so many apps for our clients. It's time, there is an opportunity to build something ourselves. And indeed there was. But I would say choose a B2B market. So do not go after B2C, so business to business, and not to consumers. From what I've read, from what I've heard, is B2C is way more competitive. So it will be harder. It will take way more money, way more. It will require way more skill from you. So choose B2B. That's my advice. So hopefully now we have eliminated half of those weird ideas. So do not build next social network. The second one is do not build a note-taking app. So it has to be something of value. Hopefully, I hope your agency exists for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and maybe you are doing something repetitively. Maybe maybe there's an interesting process, something unique that you do that you could potentially turn into a piece of software. That's the idea. But we'll get to marketing later, so not immediately jump on this. This is just a tip, to consider, and choose something that interests you. So you will always have energy for 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 months. And then after, working in a startup environment with not enough resources for sales, design, development, and so on, after 6 months, if you're not in love with, this idea, you will just abandon it. And that's what you do not want to do. We chose something super interesting for me personally, like 2 years plus after, I'm super excited, even more excited than before. So B2B, choose a software as a service, so subscription based, choose something that interests you. And the last note here is feedback with all capital letters. So whatever you start with, you will change it. And that's the whole idea. Do not be stubborn. Do not stick to the original idea. Along the way, I hope you will get your first, second, third user, and you will have to beg them for some feedback. They will actually not be willing to give you feedback. Personal experience again. Be ready to say, I'll send you $100 to your PayPal for 20 minutes of your time, and you'll have to tell us, what you like about the product, what you do not like about it. A lot of feedback. So do not be obsessed about your initial idea. Ideas are at the end, when we go through all the 7 topics, you'll see that the idea is kind of like worthless. It's about execution and perseverance. But choose the good idea. Stick to B2B, something that you're interested in. Do not build dumb stuff. So you have to find something that will bring a lot of value to your customers, to those companies, because we're B2B. And you will just keep receiving a lot of feedback, and the idea will evolve. So that's the topic number 1. Since this is live, feel free to there's chat here. By the way, this is my first time here as well, so I hope the chat works. I hope everything is fine. I have no idea what's going on, but so the second topic, so we have covered the idea thing. The second topic is educating yourself. Working in an agency environment, you will be used to, let's say you are a design agency. So you are used to only designing apps and then potentially not developing them, not selling them. So obviously now you're venturing into an entire new business. You have to know how to develop that app too. You have to know how to market it, how to iterate it. You will have to set up tools for receiving feedback. Your mindset definitely has to change. That's one example. Another example is as an agency, cash flow is critical. For the B2B SaaS that you might be interested in building, sure, cash flow is critical. We'll get to finance as well, but Actually, what you're tracking, like the most important metric, is the MRR, the monthly recurring revenue. It's a weird or interesting metric. For example, if someone buys the annual subscription, you are only taking 1/12 of that as a value to that MRR. But that's the metric you're following and that you're trying to basically track and follow and increase every single month. And there are like a few new metrics that maybe you weren't even thinking about before, like the LTV. Uh, Again, as a small agency, let's say there's 15 of you. You have your clients, you're coming up with new clients, referrals, and so on. Uh, and you don't even know what the LTV is. So now you will have to know what the LTV is, because it's the lifetime value of your customer. And then that lifetime value gives you the your marketing budget, because now you know how much each and every client is worth and how much you are allowed to spend to acquire it. The good thing is that over time you will get to, you know 10, 20, 100 customers. You will have way more customers than you have now, um, but they will be worth less in the dollar values. But it's good for math, for the statistics. You'll get proper numbers. They will be uh, falling, growing, and so on. So yeah, educating yourself. The second topic, your set of skills will not translate one to one, but of course, again, an example: you are a design agency. Of course, you will beautifully design this new product, but then you will have other things to cover as well. Be aware of that churn in order to calculate that LTV. Your monthly or annual churn will be a new number that you will watch closely. You will basically every month, at the end, you will see how many users have unsubscribed. um, if many of them did, then you do not have a viable business model. You have to continue working on it. um, Talking with users, with people you do not know. So yeah, you will have 40 companies using your product, um, 100 people in those 40 companies. Um, you will have to beg them to talk to you. Unlike being a small design agency, again, where you have four clients at the moment. They know you, you know them, and it's like close knit relationship with a few big clients. Here you will have to be able to scale that relationship and actually be kind of like have a small relationship with hundreds of people actually. Um, and the last note here is, for example, customer support. At the beginning, I did all the customer support myself. I believe you have to do the same thing too. You have to take care of everything by yourself at the beginning, and then you will understand the pros and cons and what's hard and what's repetitive. And then you will slowly build processes around those business areas. So we talked about the idea. So now you know which ideas you should choose and which ideas you should not choose. Um, Educating yourself, the mindset switch will be necessary. You just can't continue working as before. It is going to be different now. And these two now lead us to the marketing segment. Again, we are still talking about agencies trying to spin off their own software as a service product. Something I went through, and yeah, we have a successful SaaS now. So I'm now sharing everything I know in order for other agencies to be able to do the same thing. And these are not only my experiences. And when I say my, I mean I speak for the entire team. Everything that we discuss every single day. But I also speak with other founders that have done the same thing, and yeah, their words are here as well. Now, marketing. Whew. I'm coming from the app development agency, so coding is everything for me. I believe in neat code, in developers, in scaling, in authentications, and all the development stuff, using all the latest technologies and so on and so on. However, uh, speaking of educating myself and later of changing your mindset, you will have to realize that this topic number 3, marketing, is extremely important. What do I mean by that? When we were talking about the idea which you will want to pursue, and you will try to choose something that's interesting for you, and maybe something that your agency has already stumbled upon, I suggest you to take the step back and think about marketability of this idea. Can you reach those specific people in those specific companies with content and other marketing channels that will eventually promote your product? If your product is too generic and for everyone, it's not going to fail. It will succeed, but moderately. It will at some point it will stall. Uh, Word of mouth is great, but you will have to work hard for many years for it to happen. So yeah, we'll have to think about whether that's Google ads or content marketing, whatever it is. Uh, you have to understand marketing. So speaking of marketing, so topic number 3 after the idea and educating yourself, marketing. Is there a viable market? Run your idea pass through this filter, and if there's no market for your idea, please do not even start. um, and by the way, you can always reach out to me with your ideas, and we can chat about them for a while, and then you'll see for yourself whether you want to pursue it or not. uh, the second one is something I have learned. Not I didn't know this at the beginning. I am learning as well. But you'll have to know who's your ICP. That's the new word that you will have to learn. Maybe if you know it, that's perfect. So ICP is your ideal customer profile. Uh, for example, in our case, um, it's like our customers are digital agencies, but not everyone in every digital agency. So the app development digital agencies, and probably a CTO or a CTO of a smaller agency, or if the agency grows above 50 people, then it doesn't have only the CTO, but maybe the mobile team lead. We have to create great content for those people. We have to write beautiful blogs for them. We have to be useful for them. Later on, when we'll talk about sales, our sales is targeted towards them. It's everything around them. At the beginning, I thought every single app on this planet needs our SDK, but they don't. Potentially they do need it, but like there's no way with limited budgets that you can reach everyone and serve everyone and build all those features. Eventually you will be dragged into so many directions that again you will just give up. So Choose your ideal ICP first, think about it, brainstorm it. Now you have the idea, combine these two and see if there's a fit. What would be an example if you are building a password management app, let's say? Then you instantly know that 1Password and LastPass are your competitors. They are super successful. So building a product that matches theirs is mind-blowing. And then even if you have a product, if you reach out to me, I won't care, because we're using these tools for the past 10 years and we're not switching. So sure, you can still build a product actually identical to theirs, but your marketing, your positioning, your brand will have to be positioned differently. You will say password management for freelancers, and then it will be kind of specific for freelancers. Completely weird, but that's, you have to niche down and choose the target market. But then you will see, again, freelancers is a huge a group that you cannot reach with marketing, because there's 4,700 other companies trying to compete for freelancers as well. So you will have to niche again and niche again and niche again and find precisely who your target market is. So what would be the other notes that I wanted to share here regarding marketing? Yeah, I have no idea what I wrote here. So with sales process isn't I have no idea. I think like there's one thing that it's obvious that I've learned it during this process, is that at the beginning, try to do everything yourself. Marketing is the same thing. Talk with users, see their attributes, learn, adapt. At the beginning, I would say go after those unscalable types of marketing. Let's say, pay some Google ads just to get those first customers to sign up and use the product. But later on, you will have to switch to something that's way more scalable, that has the potential to grow 5, 10, and 100x. But that comes later on. So yeah, now we have covered the marketing. It's different than agency doing marketing, but that's expected. Alrighty, so if again you are a digital agency and have the desire and the idea of spinning off your own software as a service product and growing it to 1 million ARR, we have covered which ideas you should avoid, then educating yourself, and the third one was marketing, which is very important. Again, like I have this developer's mindset, yet I absolutely respect marketing now. Only then comes development. Keep that in mind. If you're an app marketing agency, then great stuff. I'm sure you will smash those marketing goals and KPIs, but you will have to be very cautious about the design, product development aspects of this new startup that you're going to launch. Sales, the fourth topic. Unlike your agency, which has a huge LTV, like lifetime value, each customer, they may be paying $20,000 per month to you, or $10,000 per month to you, and they will be working with you for 9 months or 4 years. So when you multiply all of that, you get huge numbers. Your clients are super valuable to you, so you can afford having a sales team that can spend all that money on traveling somewhere, attending a conference, hosting conference, building sales materials, paying for their hotels and so on, and prospecting and so on and so on, with a smaller startup that you're now trying to kick off. The situation is different. So I personally suggest that you do not start sales until you get to, I would say, $250,000 of ARR, so around, let's say, 20,000 MRR, and or 100 clients. So you have to find ways to, like, by yourself, to bring in first 100 clients. It's going to take, maybe if you're a superstar, 6 months. I would say in average expect, let's say, 2 years, 1.5 to 3 years. And then when you see all the metrics, and then you're super confident in your ICP with your marketing team, you perfectly know who you're trying to reach out to, then you're ready to set up your sales team. And you might be successful, you might not be successful. We don't have a lot of experience yet with that. We have just started out with our sales team, but I'll keep you posted, definitely. So why not? Wow, one topic that again I had to change my mind about is, as soon as you start providing your product, there will be, since you're casting your net wide with an agency, since you're very expensive, of course, some random people were reaching out to you and asking for, an app for $500. But yeah, with a product, you will have people reaching out, startups, freelancers, like something with the community, with saving the planet. And I always, love to cater to their needs and, give them a discount and so on. However, first, you will have to help yourself. The first 3 years of your, think of this as a new business. So it's going to last 40 years. So the first 3 years, you have to be selfish. Your team is number one, and your targeted users, not all users, your targeted users, they're number one as well. Do not be sad, not to offer discounts and whatnot to all these people. There will be time, eventually you will be able to help them. That's a great thing to do. Again, it's always hard to me, but whenever I speak to other founders and people in my team, it's always like the bottom line is always, you cannot afford having so many users actually not paying you, often being the loudest. They will drag you in the wrong direction. All right, and let's see. Yeah, that's it. So my suggestion is to wait a bit until you start building your sales team. So about 250K of ARR or 100 first customers. Then you perfectly know, let's say even with 40-50 customers, if they are perfect, then you already know who those users are. You have slowly started to iterate on your product, and then you are ready to push your product with sales. No custom offers, no discounts. I think the hardest thing will be to say no to those huge companies, just like the freelancers that want a free product will reach out to you. You will have huge companies wanting some custom development. We at the beginning, again, mistake, so we were trying to cater to them, but yeah, it's waste of time. Like, you will kick off, you will start this product with one designer, two developers, one tester, like there will be 2 or 4 of you. You cannot cater to needs of a multinational company that wants to introduce this security protocol, and you're super happy and excited, their logo will be on your website, but you will never do that. So you will spend 4 months, and then they will say, sure, like, we love it, I'm sending this to procurement. Then procurement says no, and then you're stuck. So please focus only on your ICP. That means saying no to everyone else, whether paying you more or less. Just focus on your one customer. Alrighty, now we have taken care of, if you're an agency, want to spin off a good new software as a service product, something that you own. We have taken care of the idea of educating yourself, of different marketing, sales tips, 3 advice. And now the fifth topic is, I would say, yourself, your mindset, your it's consider this new product as a business, not just as another project of your agency. So, and as soon as you realize that's the case, you will realize how let's call this new company poor. Like, you literally have no customers, you have built nothing, and now you have to spend 1 year building it. And the appropriate thing is to switch your mindset into that state. So you really have to start counting every dollar. Be very careful. Again, unlike your agency, which is probably 5 years old at this stage, so this new company is fresh, be aware that you will be losing money for many months, but you're putting them into like some long-term equity. But yeah, like, do not, again, like, the agency might throw a huge party. You, like, if you really commit yourself to this new company, your mindset will tell you there's no way I'm going to spend these thousands of dollars. We need that for to improve our product. We need that to start a new marketing campaign. So please, you have to focus on every single dollar. So that's the change of mindset, apart from all those educating yourself and so on, and becoming different. If you are gonna stay active in both of these companies, then you have to be able to probably switch your mindsets. So when it comes to your huge agency, there could be 46 of you in an agency and everything is great. Sure, you have to spend money in order to earn money, but be able to, when talking about this product only, you have to be able to switch your mindset and really take, like, for example, Amazon Web Services, where we will be hosting this product. They have startup discounts. Use that startup discount. The tools for analytics. There's heaps of discounts for startups, and you have to be, that needy startup, taking care of every single thing. There's some tool that you will share with your agency just because you want to save extra $200 or $300 a month. At the beginning, you have to do that, and then as time progresses, your MRR starts to grow. Of course, you have to be completely independent and being able to pay everything for yourself. Until then, be very cautious of money. Yeah, and speaking of this, there are actually, where's my mobile phone? Let me grab it real quick. Here I am. Um, Speaking of mindset, I love these two people. The first one, Ryan Breslow, and he is the CEO of Bolt. And follow him on Twitter. You'll learn a lot. That's that mindset switch that you have to go through. And he says, there's one, a Twitter thread where he wrote everything. So the topic is how I have focused my time and energy scaling Bolt from 1 to 400 people. So I won't go through everything I said. Go to, can I? Yeah. Go to Twitter, follow him. He's a genius. So let's see. Company when it is small. So from 1 to 50 people. Number one, get hands-on to solve a company problem. So you will tackle marketing or sales or product or design, whatever it is, or hiring. Something is flimsy and you want to set up a good process around it. Get hands-on. Step 2, hire great people to take the reins. And number 3, let them take the reins and go solve the next problem. So you will be switching. So that's all I said. Go through everything. Go through marketing. Spend a lot of time on marketing. Set up the processes and just leave it. Then the second step is, customer support. You are, someone that has to take care of customer support. Now you can see why this is challenging with an agency. Maybe everything is beautiful and you quote unquote don't have to do anything. You don't have to get your hands dirty. With a product, you have to do it. Again, everything is starting from the beginning. Get your hands dirty with customer support, see what are the problems, what are the tools, and so on and so on. Talk with people, and then set it up, hire people, move on. So yeah, there's the change of mindset as well. And the second person is, oh my God, this guy is great. He is Nathan Berry. I can't remember the company he's running, but yeah, great guy. He has a lot of content on YouTube, just like this, but also follow him on Twitter, and then you will see all the beautiful advice. Like just like this video, he in Twitter thread he said these are the advice that they followed in order. For example, they were stuck at 1,500 MRR, and then they did a couple of changes and then scaled it to 100K MRR. So for example, one would be choose a niche, something that I have mentioned 1,000 times to everyone. Ask users about frustrations. That's why I told you, literally pay people $100 just to talk with them. That will unlock so many hidden frustrations that you have never ever heard of. Get on a call and then remove the biggest objection. And that's the change of mindset. In your agency everything is cool. Here you'll have a lot of objections and you will have to remove them. Like this is a fresh new business that you have to work on, and so on. Number 7, do anything to get the customer. and you really have to do anything to get that customer. Until you get to 100 customers, then you will set up the team, and you personally will not have to do anything to get a customer. But again, you will have that spirit with your team. So without any further ado, we have mentioned 5 topics of spinning off a product from your digital agency, creating something of, creating new value, new customers. And the last 2 would be separating this as a separate business, and the last one will be finance. So separating, do not mix. Maybe you will disagree, but this from my experience. And when I was speaking to other founders that have also created products from their agencies and then fell in love with these products, they also say just like separate it instantly, like new office, new people, like not new tools, but your tools, your processes, your KPIs, your goal, like 2 different businesses. It's the healthiest thing. However, as a hack, at the beginning, of course, I told you, you have to watch out for every dollar. So at the beginning, sure, if you're using just one Jira and one Slack and one some HR tool, continue using just one. There's no need to increase your costs by $3,000 a month. But once your MRR hits 30,000 a month, it's time. It's time for you to set up all the tools. And these are 2 different companies. You can have beautiful collaboration in between these companies. If someone wants to change a company, they could be considered first, but fundamentally, at the beginning I thought it would be all interchangeable, but it's not. It's not the healthiest way. People will be confused. Like it's really weird. The only thing I would say that you will be able to share for the longest, and maybe you don't even, when you hit 30,000 MRR, maybe that's not even the time to separate this thing, and that is your back office. So your human resources team, your finance team, your office admin, everything about that. It's not necessarily business specific, so feel free to share that. I mean, the office space, you could be like in the same building but on different floors. All of that is perfectly fine. But please separate ASAP. Your employees, they have to know where they're applying to. Your new employees, they have to know which company they want to join. Developers that want to work in agencies, they don't want to work in products. Developers that work on products, they don't want to work in agencies. Like it's a mix. So as soon as you will have the opportunity, once you pass your own threshold in your head, I say it's about like 10, 20, 30 K MRR, it's time to separate these businesses. Like they have to have different logos, different slogans. Like it's 2 things, not one with 2 branches. The last one, finance. I have only one one bullet point, and that's expect losses for 2 years. And that's it. No, apart from expecting losses for 2 years, then the comment is try not to dilute all of that and make, do not drag it to 4 years. 4 years of losing $5,000 a month. Compress it into 1 or 2 years of losing $20,000 a month. You have to test it, and even if it fails, it will fail fast, which is great. And if you succeed, which you will, I'm sure, especially if you listen to me, uh, not only listen to me, if you started and then, maybe we get to know each other, we can learn from each other. But yeah, if you stay focused and listen about all these tips about ideas and marketing and educating yourself, there's really, like I would say, low risk of failing. And yeah, speaking of finances, do expect losses, but try to compress them. Go big or go home. Lose money for a year or two, and then maybe another tip will be, yeah, really try to you'll measure that MRR. That's the best metric that you will track as a software as a service. However, as a business, as a separate business, as I said, uh, maybe try to sell a few more of those annual subscriptions, maybe like with the discounts. So you take all that money from the future and then bring it into the present. That case, your financial fiscal year will actually be better than simply just selling the monthly subscriptions. Uh, there are some tools. There's like no time for me to go through all my notes. I will eventually share it, for example, on my LinkedIn or somewhere. There are tools that even if you have monthly subscriptions, when you sign up there and connect your Stripe account that you use for these subscriptions, they will actually give you money in advance for the entire year in advance, and they will take you 8% or something like that. So you will have the opportunities to become financially viable a bit faster. And pretty much, I think that's it for today's topic of your digital agency, whether design, marketing, lead gen, development, wanting to spin off your own software as a service product and get to $1 million of ARR. We went through the, choosing a good idea, educating yourself, taking care of marketing, super important. Then eventually coming to sales, changing the mindset, like then separating these two companies and being aware of the financial impact this new product is gonna have on your agency. Yeah, that's it. Keep in mind that I had to write it down. So I post every week, sometimes every day on LinkedIn, here on YouTube, on TikTok. I will literally share everything that I hear from other agency founders with you. Literally, my goal for 2022, 2023 is to produce as much as useful content as I humanly can, as like the entire team is blogging. So people in digital agencies, those lead developers, CEOs, co-founders, lead designers can grow, learn as fast as possible. And that's it for today. See you in the next one. I already have the idea for the next YouTube live session. It like crossed my mind. It will be 100 marketing approaches, marketing ideas, hacks. I'll go through 100 of them and give comments and feedback on each one of them. We'll see how that goes. Until the next one, cheers and have a good one.